Okay, thanks for watching. I just wanted to have a little run through of what we did in class yesterday, just to refresh your memories, and you've also got something that you can keep referring back to. Excuse me, I'm going to go quite fast, so you'll have to stop and pause when you get to a point where you get stuck or you need to go back and look at something. So what we did first was we did a practice stock take, and that's this sheet here. And we looked you could see we'd put the categories of different food items in the left hand column. What I'm actually going to do with that is copy it over as well to column K. You'll see why a bit later on. Then we had the item themselves. So if you look here, the one that I'm just highlighting, it says bread sliced brown medium, 800 grams. So the unit of measurement was each. So that's each loaf of bread at 800 grams. The unit price was £1.15 per loaf, and the opening stock we started with 55. We purchased through the week 87, which then would give us the total available. Now, if you remember, the total available is the opening stock plus total purchases. So that's 55 plus 87. The formula for that, the way I do it, is equals this cell, 55, plus this one. Press enter, does the calculation for me. To do that down the rest of the sheet, I copy that cell, go all the way down, paste, and it will do all those calculations for me. Now we've got the closing stock figure already, so now we work out how many we've consumed. So that's how many loaves of bread, each loaf of bread. And the equation for that is the total available, i.e. the opening stock plus purchases, equals your total available minus your closing stock. So in theory we had 142 loaves available to us, and we closed with 42. Now, you know in your own mind that's going to be 100 loaves we consumed, but we're going to put in the equation for it so that we can copy and paste it down. So again, it's equals that cell minus that cell. Copy that, come all the way down. And that will work out all of those for you. Then we want the value. So that's what we're looking for here, is the consumption value. So the price it's cost us for everything we've consumed for that item. So we've consumed 100 and they cost £1.15 each. So the equation for that is equals unit price times, so that's the asterisk button, the number consumed. Press enter and there's your value. Copy that, paste it down, and it will work out all those values for you. Now if you see the bottom left hand tab, that's the one we're in now, and it says change my name to stock take. So I want you to right click, press rename, and then type in stock take. Then press enter and it's changed the name for you. Next we want consumption totals by category. So we want to know how much we've spent on bread. The equation for that is equals sum, open brackets, and then go back to the stock take tab and select all the values under bread. So it's just those two. Close the brackets, press enter, and it will work it out for you. Now for cheese, we do the same thing, equals sum, all the cheese ones, close brackets, enter. Cooked meat equals sum, open brackets, only one cell there, close brackets, enter. Dairy products equals sum, open brackets, select all your dairy products, close brackets, enter. Dry goods the same. Back to the stock take tab and then select all the ones that come to dry goods. Close your brackets, enter. Same for fats and oils. Fish and shellfish. Fruit and vegetables. And last one, meat. Now, then to total all that up, so we can check it against the other sheet, we select the bottom cell next to total, then click auto sum. It'll tell you the ones it's collecting. Press enter, and there's your amount. Now, in order to check that, we'll do the same on this one, on the stock take tab, under the consumption value tab. Click on auto sum, press enter, and it should be exactly the same. So if you see 676760, and on this tab it's the same, 676760. So then we go to the next tab, notional stock consumption. So we've got the same thing, all the different stock items listed in this column, the unit of measurement for each item in this column, the unit price for each item in this column, and then column D is the number of sales. So that's registered sales through the tills or through however that is monitored. So the sales cost, what you're looking for is how much it's cost you to sell all those items. So that's quite straightforward. It's the number of sales times the unit price. So same as before, it's equals that one unit price times that one number of sales. Press enter, it will give you the figure. Copy it, paste it all the way down. Next one is your consumed. So you can do here equals and then go to stock take and go to your number consumed. So it's that one there. So you're always using the same figure. Press enter and it's in there. Copy it, paste it down. And you'll see it's copied all the ones from the stock take tab. Just look at the bread white slice medium and then look at the stock take bread white slice medium 60 for both. Okay, consumption cost, we've already got that on the other sheet, but we'll do it on this one, that's fine. Equals number consumed times by, using the asterisk, unit price. That's your consumption cost. Copy that, paste it down, and that's all done. So now what we want is the consumption variance. So what that is the difference between the number we've sold and the number we've consumed. Now if you look at white bread, for instance, you'll see that we've sold 16, but we've consumed 100. So there might be something wrong there, but we'll have a look at it. So for consumption variance, the equation, so the formula is equals number of sales minus number consumed, and that should give us a negative number because we've consumed more than we sold. So copy that down, and this is where you can start to have a look. That might be a number of things. You might have entered an order twice on your goods in. You might have miscounted. There are all sorts of different things that you may have done to get that, or that bread might have been lost. But that gives you the opportunity, all these variance figures, to find out what's actually gone wrong. Next step is to work out your variance cost, because that's a quite important figure, because if it has a negative value, then you know you've lost money somewhere or you've made an error. So the variance cost is whatever your variance is, which is this one here, times by the unit price. So it's equals consumption variance times unit price. Press enter. So there it's showing that you've got a variance cost of £96. So that's definitely something when you're out there in the workplace you'd have a look at. Copy that cell, paste it all down, and then to get a total variance cost, click on that cell, click auto sum, do it for you. So it's saying here we've got a notional variance of minus £688. So if all the paperwork's correct and we've counted everything, we've put it all in, etc., and we've got proper sales records, that's saying that we've lost £688 worth of stock somewhere. So that's something that you would look at. We had a brief look at this, but we weren't quite ready for it, so we'll come back to that another time. So that's how you do the formulas that you need to look at. So let's just have a quick look at the assignment that the part of the assignment that is your dynamic spreadsheet. So on Moodle, you have this document. It has 4 pages. First page is I want you to call that sales analysis. Second page, you call it stock take. It's exactly the same as the other one. The only difference is there aren't as many stock lines. Third one is notional stock consumption, which we've just done. And final one is consumption variances. So what you need to do is to type all this into a spreadsheet, and then you can start to fill it out. So you'll have to put all the headings, all these things here, and then you'll have to put all the different columns and all those bits of information in there. So here's one that I've done. So tab 1, sales analysis, tab 2, stock take, tab 3, notional stock consumption, tab 4, consumption variances. And that mirrors exactly what's on the PDF that I've given you. So here's a couple of assumptions that you need to make. and you need to make these from the menu. And you'll need to do this before you start so that you're using the same thing all the time. My recommendations are that for a full English breakfast, you have 2 sausages, 2 rashers of smoked bacon, 2 eggs, a full grilled tomato, and 2 slices of toast. Now, that means that you use a whole tomato for each portion, and you use 2 slices of toast per portion for the full English breakfast. Now, with that, your average loaf has 20 slices. So for each loaf of bread, you have 10 portions of toast for a full English breakfast. Also, you have porridge, and it's either served with honey or jam or plain. You also have a kipper, and then you have build your own breakfast. So it's 1 rasher of bacon, 1 sausage, 1 slice of black pudding, 2 eggs, portion of baked beans, 1 grilled tomato, 200 grams of button mushrooms, 1 hash brown, and that, my recommendation is that would be 2 slices of brown or white toast. You'll need to work that out now, because when you come to work out your consumption from your sales, then that information will be key. So on the sheet I've given you, you've got the following information. You know what the items are. This is the price. This column here is the price that you sell them at. This column here is the number of sales you've made for each item. So for a full English breakfast, you've sold 271 of those, but that also means that you've sold 271 times 2 Cheshire sausage, 2 rashers of bacon, 2 eggs, a full tomato, and 2 slices of toast. So you'll need that information later on, and I'll show you why. So you need to work out what your sales total was, which is this column here. So that's your sales times your menu price. Then you need to work out in these 2 columns how to take the VAT off, and that gives you your net sales, because remember, your net sales is the one you count, because the VAT that's added on here is given straight to the government. For the stock take, I haven't put in your unit prices. You'll get that information from your invoices. So if you look here, 3 case, so we've got quantity, description, and unit price, and that's what you need to work out. So the description is porridge portions. A 55 gram portion, and you get 20 in a case. So for 20 portions of porridge, it costs you £9.80. Therefore, £9.80 divided by 20 equals 49 pence. So that's what you put in there. So you need to work out all of these from the invoices. What I suggest you do is put each invoice into your goods in at a time. So for this one, if you look, we've got 3 times 20. So goods in there would be 60. Hash browns, we've got 9 times 30. So that's 270. Strawberry jam, 1 case of 50 15 gram portions. So jam portions, 1 case, so we got 50. Next one, white bread, 20 loaves. So here we've got 20 loaves. So for that invoice, you can then work out also the cost of each unit. Now here, it's each loaf of bread, so we know that's £1. So we put that in, 1.00. You may need to format these cells for currency as well, but I'll let you work out how to do that. Hash browns, you get 30 in a pack, and it's £3 per pack. So that means that each one is 10p, which I've already put in there for you. Bread we've done. Next one is baked beans. Now £6.24 for 12 tins, each at 200 grams. That works out at £0.52 per can. So 52p per portion. So in there, 0.52. Okay. We'll put those baked beans in, so that's 96, isn't it? So as you go through each invoice, you'll be able to get your unit cost here, and then you'll have a total of all your goods in. There's no more than 3 invoices for each supplier, so you've got enough room there. Then this column here will total up all your purchases. So if you've got other numbers here, you need to set this to add them all up. And that will give you your total purchases. Your total available, you already know what that is. It's your opening stock plus all your opening stock here, plus all your purchases. Your closing stock, you've already got that figure. So your consumed is your total available minus your closing stock. And then the value is, that's your consumed value. So total consumed times your cost price gives you your value. Now you need to work out your stock consumption. So for porridge, the unit cost, you get that from this one here. Yeah. Okay. Sales, porridge with no jam. So this column here, so this cell here and this cell here is either for this top line of porridge, or it's to detail the number of sausage, bacon, egg, etc. you've sold with a full English or individually. So if we take the porridge one first, then we can forget about that. We know that we've sold 45 porridge with jam and 11 individual porridge. So if we go porridge with jam equals, back to the sales analysis, 45, that one there, press enter and it's in there. Individual sales equals, back to the sales analysis, and that one there. Okay, so we also know that we have sold some jam portions, and that is this one here. We know we've sold 45. The unit cost is equals, I forget what it is, but you would do that one there, and then that would be your total sales and your total cost. So let's do let's do the white bread. So in terms of sales for full English, we know that we sold 271 full English. So that is equals 271, but then you need to divide that by the number of portions you get per loaf. So we know we get 10 portions per loaf, don't we? So we divide it by 10. So that means for sales of full English breakfast, we've used 27.1 loaves. But we've also sold some toast individually. So we've sold 97 portions. So that's equals 97 divided by 10. So again, that means that we've sold 9.7 loaves of bread on individual toast. So then your total sales, this column here, is all of these added up. So 27.1 times 9.7. So if you do it in the top one and then copy it down, and then your total cost is your total sales by your unit cost. Same thing for your consumption variances. You get your unit cost, your sales, your total cost, your consumed, all these things from the other sheets, from your sales analysis sheet and your stock take sheet. So fill all that in and that will give you the figures that you need. The only other thing you need to do now is work out what your gross profit was. So your food cost figure you will get from your stock take. Total consumption is that one there. So that one needs to go into here for your food cost. So your net sales will already be worked out for you once you've got all those figures in. So you'll have that figure and you'll have your food cost figure from the other sheet. Take your food cost from your sales figure, that will give you your gross profit, and then you need to work out your gross profit percentage, which is your gross profit expressed as a percentage of your total sales. Okay, so that's everything I need to talk to you about today. If you have any questions, just send me an email. We can meet before next Wednesday, or make sure you have those questions ready by next Wednesday.